All right, everyone, welcome back to the Culture Cat podcast. Sorry for the very long cat nap, is what I'll call it for now. I kind of not really been avoiding this podcast, but more like how a lot of things come up. I'm busy, had to prioritize other things. So, even though only one episode in, this little podcast had to take a break. But anyway, we're back, and we're gonna do something a little bit different today. Because usually I'd be like, wanting to sit down at like a coffee shop or at my desk and recorded this. But here's the thing, I'm already out of the house. I kind of forgot to do it, and I wanted to do this today. And I have like 4 to 5 servings worth of caffeine going through my system. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna walk around the local neighborhood. Hopefully I don't get shot or hit by a car. So if you hear honking, it's probably because I wasn't paying attention. And well, I just got hit by someone's like local Toyota. But that's the dealio. So we're just gonna go for a walk right now. This might be perfect, footage in case I get like murdered out here. It's like, oh yeah, he looked like he was on 32nd Street, and then he got stabbed and disappeared. Ah, sweet. Anyway, so doing this right now, and got my handy dandy little Mickey Mouse notebook with me. That's how we're gonna keep track of it. So got my little show notes, not like on my laptop like I usually do. So I think that's enough rambling. Actually, no, it's not enough rambling. The whole point of this podcast is for me to ramble and just talk about things I like to talk about. That's kind of the dealio here. But anyway, we're back. Hopefully there'll be another episode Wednesday. So I guess we'll just get started on all this jazz. Not so much movie news for me to talk about, other than like some minor stuff like this person hired this person for this film, and this person hired this person for this film, and this person said he's a cheating liar. And it's like, well, I don't really care about sharing that kind of stuff. So I just got like 2 reviews to share with you guys, and that'll probably be it for all the movie stuff. And let's see. First thing on movies is Jojo Rabbit. So I saw that over Thanksgiving break. First of all, phenomenal film. I highly recommend anyone, the second you can, watch it in the theater. Completely worth it. Like, it is phenomenal. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know why there was some more advertising for it. Probably because it has Nazis in it. Anyway, so to explain what Jojo Rabbit is, other than, well, obviously I just said Nazis, but to explain what Jojo Rabbit is, it's about a little boy named Jojo who is in a Hitler Youth Club. Well, I'm not really sure. Were they a club? I think maybe they were an organization. Regardless, he's in Hitler Youth. And his imaginary friend is Hitler, played by Taika Waititi, which, in case you don't know who Taika Waititi is, he's the guy who directed Thor 3, or in other words, he fixed Thor. Yeah, he fixed the Thor films, because let's be honest here, Thor 1 and Thor 2, pretty mediocre. And by pretty mediocre, I mean, they're pretty sad films. They're not easy to watch. Taika Waititi is the man we can thank for fixing that. So, anyway, it's his film. He plays Hitler alongside the kid who plays Jojo in Jojo Rabbit. And essentially, it's just him and his misadventures with his imaginary friend Hitler. And Scarlett Johansson plays his mother. And Jojo finds out, oh hey, Mom's hiding a Jew in our basement. And it's all about Jojo just learning all about this kind of stuff, kind of learning about the truth about being a Nazi and, other kinds of humans. Like, Jews actually aren't people that, are aliens and can read our minds and take over. And they're not all like, gold stealing thieves, as, the Hitler program has taught them to believe. Anyway, great film. I hope it gets nominated for a couple of Oscars. I don't think it'll be nominated for like best film of the year. Partially because, well, Nazis. I swear, if Scarlett Johansson, though, doesn't get an Oscar nomination for her role in this, I'm gonna be livid. She is phenomenal in here. Like, there is no other word to describe it. She's just amazing. And honestly, just if you're bored and want to watch a movie, just watch it for her alone. Scarlett Johansson's amazing. Like, I think this is honestly my favorite film role with her. And like I said, she played Jojo's mother. So, just for her performance, watch it. And that's a sketchy look apart at the campus. Let's not go there. We're gonna turn around. Okay, back to Jojo Rabbit. So, Scarlett Johansson's performance, great. Taika Waititi, every time he's on screen as Hitler, honestly, you are gonna guffaw, and you're probably gonna go through a good ab workout with him. Because, hey, you know what? He's freaking great. Taika Waititi's hilarious in this film. Acting's a bit weird, though. Like, I'm not gonna say flat, but very one-dimensional. There's not too much depth to his imaginary friend character. But maybe that was kind of the point, so I'm not gonna really say that's a critique. It's just a little thing I noticed. And the boy who played Jojo Rabbit, I think this is only his first and only film role, But honestly, I hope he's in more things going onward because he was great in this. Because, hey, you know what? Not too many 10-year-olds can actually act. And so the fact that this kid, I think his name was Roman Davis, he actually did really good. So I'll give him that. Good job, Roman. Anyway, great film. Kind of a couple flaws with it though. One thing being that it's kind of a slow film. Yes, there's kind of more a comedy film, but there are some moments that I feel like could have been cut out to condense time. It's a little under 2 hours, but it probably could have been an hour and a half, maybe even an hour 20, because there's just some scenes that aren't necessary for the plot. It's just there, I guess, is to be there. And I feel like those should have been cut out. And, I mean, I feel like also the chemistry between some characters just doesn't work. Like, you're supposed to feel for some of these, and it's like there's not enough here for me to actually give a crap about. So, other than that, I mean, honestly, it's a phenomenal film. I probably, if I were actually forced to put on a number scale, I don't want to, but I would probably say like an 8, maybe 7.5 out of 10. Just great. Totally, if you can, the second you can, go watch it in theaters. Worth it. It's honestly like a good, I'm not gonna say family film, because this isn't like Frozen where you can take like a 5-year-old and she'll be entertained. Because, well, there's not like flashing lights and beautiful music. It's more like, if you're at least 11, you can appreciate it. So, because, you know, the common 11-year-old can understand the Holocaust and the whole like Nazi regime. They'll get it. 5-year-olds probably not. And you kind of need that understanding to really appreciate the film. So there's that. Also, for anyone that's a David Bowie fan, this isn't really like a critique or like a positive or anything, but there's a lot of David Bowie in this film. Like, I loved it. So anyway, watch Jojo Rabbit. Totally worth it. I think anyone who, you know, just likes film in general will love it. Great comedy, good time. So there's that. Second review, The Irishman by Martin Scorsese. So, if you don't know who Martin Scorsese is, he's kind of an old school, one of those like, sort of like the original Christopher Nolan. Like, essentially this man released the film and everyone's like, oh, well, we gotta go watch it. It's gonna be amazing. It's Martin Scorsese. And he's done films such as Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Silence, which I highly recommend if you haven't watched it. Great film. And a few others. But, oh, The Aviator, that's another good one he's done. I love The Aviator. But I mean, Martin Scorsese's just done a lot of films. Anyway, The Irishman stars Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and a few other like usual gang. And well, it's about gangs. It's about the mob and, you know, the 50s and the 70s and 80s. And think, if you have seen Goodfellas, think essentially replace the ending of Goodfellas. Instead of him going, you know, into witness protection, he dies of old age. That's it. Like, that's almost the same exact film. And so it's on Netflix right now. 3.5 hours. That's a long film. Like, holy cow. That's the only reason I had to watch it twice to actually give it everything, because there are some parts of the film I just got so bored and dulled out that I was like, I zoned out for like maybe a good 30 minutes here. What happened? Why is Al Pacino doing this? Why is he yelling? What happened? You know, it's like when you wake up in the middle of algebra class and you are like, what are all these numbers? I don't know what's going on. Someone please explain. But you're by yourself and it's 2 a.m. and you're on your bed and it's kind of sad because no one's there to explain it to you, because, well, if they were, that'd be a little creepy. Let's be honest here. So, back to the film. It's slow. From what I do remember, it's a pretty slow film. I think it should have been a lot shorter, maybe 2.5, not 3.5. Like, holy cow, that is a ridiculous amount of time for a film. But, yeah, slow, very slow. It's a slow burn film. There's not a lot going on. It's pretty much like a 3.5 hour like biography. I mean, there's some interesting parts, but overall, from what I've seen, it's pretty bland. And although I will say this, Robert De Niro, he really does punch it home with his performance today, this film. You can tell in the last few films he's done, he's kind of just been like, I'll sign up for the paycheck and now just say the lines. It's like, wow, that's kind of lazy, Robert. What the heck? But now it's like, oh, I'm working with Martin again. All right, yeah, I'll actually, like, you know, take this seriously. So that's good. Robert De Niro does great. Al Pacino, he's Al Pacino. He always does good. I love Al Pacino. And the special effects were a bit weird. So there's a couple scenes where they're supposed to be like, say, in their like 20s and 30s, and it's like Robert still looks like he's 55 in this. Like, he doesn't look like he's any younger. He just looks like an old man with a less wrinkly face. Like he can afford Botox now. That's it. So I don't know. I'm gonna give the special effects a bit of a deduction there. They probably should use some more work. So before I give a full like, this is good, this is worth your time, like whole review, I'm gonna watch it one more time. Hopefully by the Wednesday episode I can give you guys a more definitive answer. But right now, I'm just gonna say it's okay. If you have a free night, you're there with your loved one, or you're just by yourself and you're bored as heck, yeah, why not watch it? But at the moment, like I say, it's a priority. So that's my first impression of The Irishman. All right, now moving on from movie stuff, because that's all I've got. I'm not gonna say I lazied this, but like I said, there wasn't too many interesting things going on. Let's go on to some more music stuff. All right, so rapper Juice WRLD died this morning at the age of 21 after a complication from seizures. So if you're a Juice WRLD fan, today's your day of mourning. All his top hits like Lucid Dreams are back in the charts. And well, that is honestly a tragic age to die. I'll admit that. 21, like holy cow. Like, come on guys, think about it. That's young. I mean, right now, like cause of death isn't really clear. They're just like, oh yeah, complication from seizures. It's like, well, that's not really an answer, but all right, great. And before someone goes like, oh, well, it's this is like, no, probably any other like result you see right now is probably just a rumor. So calm down, guys. We probably won't get any like answers till like later this week, like Friday or Saturday, if they ever release that kind of information. They usually don't. Usually it's like leaked. But anyway, Juice WRLD, he has passed. Very tragic. Personally, I'm not a fan of Juice WRLD. Not like a character thing. The 2 tracks I've heard, I'm like, they're good, but I'd never really can say I'm a fan of his music. So there's that. Very tragic death. And back into more music. AMAs was the other week. And, well, it was boring, I'll be honest. The American Music Awards is essentially like Grammys Light, for anyone who doesn't know. Like, it's really more known for the performances, in my opinion, which, let's start with Taylor Swift's performance. It was okay. She still doesn't have access to all her old stuff, so you just got like new Taylor. And I was like, I don't care. Although her performance of Lover, that was actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed it. And I'm not really a big fan of the whole Lover album, so the fact that I enjoyed that single, okay, yeah, I can do that. Green Day was weird. I don't know what they're doing with their new stuff. So Green Day has a new song called Mother of All, and the actual second part of said line is Mother Effers. But the track's called Mother of All. And it's where Billie Joe Armstrong, singer of Green Day, sort of goes into this weird falsetto, and he's singing the entire song like, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm so freaking like, I don't know, punk rocky. Because, he's like 47 years old, still wears tight leather pants and guy scare. The man can't grow out of the 90s, so kind of a weird thing there. But anyway, that was a weird performance. I am kind of getting concerned about their new album they're going to drop in May, because the 2 singles they have dropped so far, I'm like, yikes. And that AMA live performance did not help. I'm really hoping they do something to like really reinvigorate like my hopes for Green Day to actually release a good album, because in my opinion the last good album they have dropped was 21st Century Breakdown, and that was in 2009. Guys, it's been over 10 years since they released a good album. Like, Uno Dos Tres, what they released after that, not good. Revolution Radio was okay at best, honestly, and that was in 2016. So it's like, okay guys, this is you better give me something good. And right now I am not being too hopeful. Those live performances did not help me, although they played one of their older songs, Basket Case, and I was like, okay, so they still got the concert, like, they can still perform, they just need better material. So hopefully that improves. And back to AMA performances, I think if you're gonna look up one performance from the AMAs, look up Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello doing Senorita. Holy cow. I don't care if people actually believe that's a fake relationship. I love that song. It's very catchy. Is it a little sexual? Yes, I'll admit it. It's not like explicit. It's not, you won't be finding like F-bombs and stuff in it. But overall, it's a great sort of like Spanish style sort of song. And I think that should be praised. And also, like I said, they did a very good performance. Chemistry on stage was amazing. And I honestly couldn't find anything wrong with the whole like show. So there's that. If you're going to YouTube any performance, give Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello, Senorita. Give that a look. I guess Taylor Swift. Oh, if you're a Green Day fan, avoid that one. Oh, Lord. That one hurt. That one hurt quite a bit. So, all right. Out of the AMAs, we're going to just go into an album I'm looking forward to. Harry Styles has a new album coming out this Friday. I'm really hopeful for it. Every single single he's released for us so far has been great. He has released Lights Up, which is sort of like a, not like psychedelic, but sort of like a slow indie rock, indie pop kind of vibe to it. So that was a great single. Watermelon Sugar is probably my favorite thing he's released so far for this new album, which is sort of like it's very Prince-esque, if anyone can understand that. So it has a little bit of funk, a little bit of like pop to it. It's like a nice little dancing kind of grooving kind of pop song. So Watermelon Sugar is great. And he just released a new track on Friday called Adore, which is very much on like the same lines as Watermelon Sugar. And that's really making me very hopeful for this new album. Like I said, dropping Friday. You will get a review of that probably on Sunday's episode. I like to give like a whole 2 days, maybe 3 days to review an album. Because if you're going to tell me you can review a whole album after a couple hours, you are wrong. You are going to miss some details. You are going to miss something. So you cannot tell me like, oh yeah, I can't want to listen. Here's my review. It's like, no. Just actively listen to it. Listen to the production. Listen to the lyricism. How does it work? How does it flow? Like there's a lot to it. So no, you're going to get a review like either Sunday at the earliest. And that's like if I dedicatedly listen to it and have a lot of free time. For sure by the next Wednesday. But I'm looking forward to that album. And if you haven't, check out those singles, Watermelon Sugar, Lights Up, and Adore. Specifically Watermelon Sugar. Holy cow. Like I said, great song. Great song. And I mean, that's pretty much it, I think, when it comes to music. And, oh, actually, I forgot something for movies. So this is not really like recent news. This is more like older news. I just found this out though myself, and I'm kind of like fanboying about it. So apparently they're redoing the movie Dune, which if you don't know what Dune is, it's based off a 65 science fiction epic novel, which is essentially like, I'm trying to think of an old story that I would compare it to, but I can't think of anything. But basic concept, father moves to desert island, that's called Dune, that's the whole point. Father and mother get kidnapped / killed, depending on the iteration. Son has to take over and reclaim the throne. And it's a giant like epic. The first attempt at making the film was a bit atrocious because they tried to condense the whole 700-page book into an hour and a half. That does not work. And then they tried again with a 2 part TV series, and also didn't work because the writing was not very faithful to the novel. But apparently in 2020, we were getting a new iteration of Dune. Very excited for it. It'll be like 2020 summertime. Starring Timothy Chalamet. I think that's his name. I will double check that later. I didn't write it down because I'm an idiot. But just wanted to share a little tidbit. If you like sci-fi, check out the Dune novel. Please don't check out the movies. For the love of God, do not check out the movies. They're awful. And I mean, that's all I got for pop culture news. And in this 2 weeks since I've recorded an episode, I've only got 3 questions, so I guess I'll answer them right now. And let's see, question 1, what is your Enneagram type? First of all, I'm just gonna start with this. I actually hate the Enneagram. I like to make fun of it because I think it's pretty stupid. I'll say that right now. I mean, I like to look at it because, hey, it's kind of cool, but overall, I think a lot of these personality tests are pretty stupid. I think if you rely on them too much, you're, I don't know, looking for some kind of answer that you're never going to get from an online quiz. But back to the point, Enneagram type. I am Enneagram type 8, wing 7. I believe that is called the Maverick. I'm not too positive on that. But if you want to know details about that, what it is, Google it yourself. Okay, I don't care enough about the Enneagram to actually tell you all the details, because I don't even know all the details. So I just like to make fun of the posts I see on Instagram. I'm like, well, that's stupid and not completely true. And now that we're on the topic of online quizzes, I guess I'll just, spill the other ones that people maybe care about. My Hogwarts house is Gryffindor. Go Gryffindor. Because you know what? Gryffindor's the one that say the whole story in Harry Potter, all right? If you're proud you're a Hufflepuff or a Slytherin or a Ravenclaw, shut up, all right? You're not the main character. Gryffindors are. We are the heroes, so go Gryffindor. go Gryffindor. I don't know. I didn't have anything else to follow with that. And what's be another one that people care about? Zodiac sign is Libra. I think everything I heard about Libra's personalities is a bunch of malarkey when it comes to me. I don't seem to be anything like a Libra. So that also proves my point that I think a lot of these things are a piece of crap. And apparently there's like a sun sign and a moon sign. Like, how is that a thing? Like, I was talking about zodiac signs with someone, they're like, oh, well, that's not the one that's accurate. It's actually the ones, your sun and moon signs are the ones that we care about. It's like, those are a thing? How are those a thing? Why are those a thing? How, like, sad are you guys? You need to look for answers in the sun and the moon. Those things don't even talk back to you. And, well, anyway, I digress. Regardless, to wrap up my little rant/ramble about all those online quizzes, Enneagram, Type 8W7, Hogwarts House, Gryffindor, and Zodiac sign, I guess, is Libra. Apparently it changes, though, so I don't know. Maybe I'm a... whatever. I'll leave that topic alone just before I start ranting again. Next question. Your last relationship, who ended it, you or your ex? I did. Let's be honest about that. Start from the gun. I ended it. Looking back at it, probably not the best reasons why I ended it for it. I'll be perfectly clear there. I think I was a bit immature in my actions in the way I both handled it and the way I ended it. But honestly, it needed to be ended. It wasn't a positive relationship for me or her. We kind of both fed into each other's like negatives. So, I'm not glad the way I handled it, but I am glad that I ended it. So, there's that. And, crap, I smudged it. That is embarrassing. Last question. Do you think Kanye West's conversion to Christianity is legit? And my answer is yes, I do. So, first off, Kanye's whole Christianity thing didn't come out like nowhere before someone accuses him of that. He's always had some kind of root in Christianity from the beginning. Okay, on his first album, he literally has a single called Jesus Walks. And that was literally like one of his first singles he ever dropped, right? So the Christian like faith has always been in the background with Kanye. So there's that. And his mother was a devout Christian. And I think his father spent time as a pastor as well. So it's not like he just out of nowhere was like, I'm a Christian now, before someone decides to accuse him of that. And another point I've always heard from people who are like, well, he can't be a legit Christian. Look at the stuff he's done in the past. It's like, first of all, guys, isn't the whole point of like being a Christian that you're always gonna be forgiven despite, your past sins, as long as you truthfully try to follow Christ and honestly believe in him? Like, isn't that the whole point? So to bring up that argument, I feel like it's kind of going against the whole religion itself. So I don't know. I hate that whole argument. And then another one I've heard is, well, what if Kanye is like, planning this whole thing just so he can get the Christian audiences? And it's like, first of all, the Christian audience, like, I'm not trying to offend them, even though technically they're religion majority, the devout Christian audience that actually listens to that kind of music is kind of a minority. You're never going to find like typical Christian worship music on the radio. At least the main radio. They have their own station, I'm not arguing that, but like, the primetime radio, you'll never find them on there. It's not a thing. So there's that. And also, you're talking about the same man who never thinks anything through. That's what he's known for. He's known for just saying what he thinks immediately. He's very impulsive. So why in the heck out of nowhere would he come out with this plot to do the whole, like, I'm going to pretend to be a Christian so I can get their votes? It's like, no, it doesn't work like that, guys. And also to bring in an earlier argument, it's like, well, look at the stuff he did to Taylor Swift, and look at the stuff he did to this, and look at the stuff he did here. It's like, okay, so you think the man who didn't think those through is thinking these through. All right, come on. So to answer that question overall, yes, I think it's legit. I think Kanye is definitely a born-again Christian. I think what he's doing is actually pretty good for the Christian faith, whether or not it is authentic, because he's having people look at it. He's having people ask questions and get curious about it. He's having them look at the faith in general. How many artists can actually say that? And he's essentially added Christianity to the pop culture, which is not, I'm not going to say a hard thing to do, but it's not exactly a very common thing to be done. So I will gladly praise him on that. So there answers that whole question. Do I think Kanye West becoming a born-again Christian is legit? Yes, I do. I love Jesus is King. Like I said last episode, I don't think it's his best album, but I think it's a pretty good album. And supposedly he's working with Dr. Dre for Jesus is King Part 2. Looking forward to that. And yes, Dr. Dre, the guy who did Beats And before anyone asks, yes, Dr. Dre actually is a Christian. He goes to church quite a bit. He is a devout follower of God now. So I think it'd be a very interesting album. I want to see this happen. And on that note, I am out. That was the Cultured Cat Podcast / Louise's walking / rambling session. And hopefully I'll see you guys Wednesday. Don't be too harsh on me in the comments. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. On Twitter, it is at podcast_cat. And Instagram, I think it's just literally at the Cultured Cat. I don't think it's that complicated. Find me on Instagram. But those two, if you want to see more like instant reactions, follow me on Twitter at podcastcat. I always retweet things with comments like, hey, this looks interesting, or like, this looks stupid, So follow me there. Any questions you have, comment either on the YouTube video if you're, watching on there. If you're not watching on YouTube, send an email. Send an email to theculturedcat. That's all lowercase. Theculturedcat, one word. 822. It spells cat, guys. Okay, it's cat. It's the Cultured Cat. Cat. Essentially. Okay, I can't butcher the email. Anyway, send an email to theculturedcat822@gmail.com. It's all lowercase. If you want me to answer any questions you're not listening on YouTube, I'll answer anything. Like I said last time, guys, I really don't care. I just like to talk. Hence, that's why I'm doing this. So, to restate again, follow me on Twitter or Instagram, specifically Twitter, at podcastcat, and send in a question either via YouTube comment or email at theculturedcat822@gmail.com. And on that, signing out. Bye.